Hey students, today's lesson is on multiplying and dividing rational numbers. So to start, we've got this key idea. To multiply or divide rational numbers, we're going to use the same rules for signs as we did for integers. So we already know all of these rules for multiplying and dividing. Positive times positive is positive. Negative times negative is positive. And if we have one of each, a positive times a negative, it's negative. All of that is still true. We're just going to use some harder numbers now. So let's look at this first example. We have negative 5 1/5 divided by 2 1/3. So we can look at this. It's a negative divided by positive. So in the end, our quotient will be negative. Okay? But we're going to solve this just like we normally do, dividing fractions or mixed numbers. So let's go ahead and start by writing these mixed numbers as improper fractions. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 1. So this is negative, oh no, what's going on here? All right. Negative 26 fifths divided by 6 plus 1 is 7 thirds. Okay, now we can go ahead and rewrite it as a multiplication problem. Multiply by the reciprocal of 7 thirds. So negative 26 fifths times 3 sevenths. All right, it doesn't look like we can simplify this one at all, so we're going to need to just multiply. Make myself a little more room here. Okay, so let's see, 25 times 3 would be 75 if we think about quarters. So 26 times 3 would be 78. And 5 times 7 is 35. So this is negative 78 over 35. I can look at this and see 35 would go into 78 twice. So that's negative 2 and 8 35ths. Negative 2 and 8 35ths. All right. Let's look at another example. This time we have decimals. Again, we have a negative times positive, so we know that our product here will be negative. So let's go ahead and just work it through without worrying about the negative sign, and then we'll put it in at the end. So off to the side here, I'm going to show my work. 2.5 times 3.6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Put a 0 as a placeholder. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Add them up. Okay, and then I need to figure out where my decimal goes. I have 2 places after the place value. So I'll put 2 places after the place value, after the decimal. So I need 2 places after the decimal here as well. Okay. Now, when I write this, 9.00 is the same as 9, so I can just write it as 9. But I know that because I'm multiplying a negative times a positive, it's negative 9. Okay? All right, now we've got multiplying more than 2 rational numbers. So I can look at this and see that I'm multiplying negative 1/7 times 4/5 times negative 7. Now they've got this grouped that I should multiply this first, but we know with multiplication that it's commutative. It doesn't matter what order we multiply. So we can use our commutative property to switch the order. We can use associative property to switch what's grouped with what. So let's go ahead and switch because I want to multiply the negative 1/7 times negative 7, right? That's going to be positive 1. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to negative 1/7 times negative 7 times 4/5. I like that a lot better. Negative 1/7 times its reciprocal, which is negative 7, gives us positive 1. 1 times 4/5 is 4/5. Negative times positive is negative times another negative makes it positive. So in the end, this should be positive 4/5. All right, we've got this real-life application with some stocks. So here we have stock A, B, and C, and it's asking us for the mean or average change in the value of the stocks. So I've got original values and current values. I don't really care about any of that. What I'm looking at is this column here for the change. So we know the mean means add them all up, divide by 3. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll list this out, negative 180.39 plus 127.28 plus negative 280.52. I can combine these in any order I want. I think I'll go ahead and do negative 180 plus positive 127.28. Probably going to need to do some scratch work over here. You probably do too. I'm going to do my larger absolute value, 180.39, minus the smaller absolute value, 127.28. 9 minus 8 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. To borrow here, 10 minus 7 is 3. 7 minus 2 is 5. So I have 53.11. If I'm combining these two terms, my larger absolute value was negative. So these two combined is negative 53.11 plus negative 280.52. Now I have two negative rational numbers, so I need to add their absolute values instead of subtracting them this time. 280.52 plus 53.11. Okay, so I get a grand total of negative 333.63. That's my total when I add these up, but I want the mean. So I'm going to want to take this and divide by 3. Give myself space one more time here. So if I have negative 333.63 and I'm dividing by 3, 111.21, and that's negative because I have negative divided by 3, so negative $111.21. So on average, I don't know what happened each year, but on average it went down by $111.21. All right, go ahead and try a few on your own, and I will see you soon.